It was just past midnight. Rain gently pattered against the windows, casting streaks of silver across the bedroom. Jungkook had returned late from a meeting, silent, tense, exhausted, and Wine hadn't dared ask what happened. She knew better. So instead, she waited in bed, curled under the sheets, pretending to be asleep when he walked in. He didn't say a word. He never did after nights like these. Just pulled off his coat, loosened his shirt, and slipped into the bed beside her. But when his arm sneaked around her waist and pulled her into his chest, she couldn't resist melting into him. He always smelled like coal smoke and leather. Safe, hers, and his neck. Everybody feared Jungkook. In the underworld, the mere mention of his name silenced rooms, blood trails, cold bodies, and broken empires lay beneath him. And yet, he ruled like a king, untouchable, emotionless, brutal. But even kings kneel for their queens, and for Jungkook, the queen was Wyan. No one could explain how Wyan, with her bright laugh, silly socks, and habit of talking to herself while baking, ended up married to him. She wasn't the type people feared, she was the kind people protected. And Jungkook had made protecting her life his life's mission. She still remembered their wedding night clearly when he whispered against her skin, "Touch anything you want, baby. Just don't try to leave me." She didn't plan to, she couldn't, but still, there were some boundaries, like his tattoos, especially the one on his neck. It was never spoken about, but Wine sensed it. He had scars from his past, both mental and physical, and while he let her in on like no one else, there were parts of him that remained wrapped in shadows. His neck tattoo. A black, inked serpent curling around a sword, etched in perfect detail against his pale skin, was something no one ever touched until tonight. His tattoo peeked out from his half unbuttoned shirt, ink sharp against the moonlight. He looked peaceful in his sleep, something rare, almost foreign on his hard features. Wine knew she shouldn't, but curiosity got the best of her. Her fingertips coasted over the tattoo, tracing the serpent's tail. She didn't expect his breath to hitch. She didn't expect his grip to tighten. And certainly didn't expect him to roll her beneath him in one fluid, sleepy motion, pinning her wrist above her head as his eyes darkened, blinked open. Jungkook, you think I don't know when you touch me, Angel? He rasped, voice thick with sleep. Her eyes widened. I thought you were asleep. He smirked, something curling at his lips. JK, didn't stop, he did it. His head dipped down suddenly, catching her throat between his lips, right over her pulse, where her breath hissed. She gasped, his mouth dragging against her skin with slow, deliberate hunger. She screamed, Jungkook, JK, you touched mine, so I'm marking yours. His teeth grazed against her skin, sending heat down her spine as he sucked hard, too hot. She whimpered, clutching his shoulders, but he didn't let up until the spot throbbed and burned. When he finally pulled back, her breath was ragged. He stared at the dark mark with pride. JK, now we're even, he muttered, brushing his thumb over the hickey. The night wind slept with a racing heart and a throbbing pulse. Next morning, Mine stared at her reflection in the mirror, cursing the bruise blooming on her neck. It wasn't a kiss, it was a claim. There was no way she could ever leave the room like that. She slipped Jungkook's black turtleneck over her head and tugged it high. Mistake. JK, take it off. She spun around. Jungkook stood at a doorway, shirtless, arms crossed, his eyes zeroed in on the collar. She swallowed. It's cold. JK, don't lie to me. Wine. I don't want anyone else to see. He was on her in seconds, pulling her fabric down. His jaw clenched when he saw the mark fading under the material. JK, I want them to see it, he drawled, pinning her against the dresser. JK, I want every man to know you're mine, that you walk into the world wearing my name on your skin, and if someone ever thinks of getting close, his hand wrapped around her neck. Not to hurt, but to make her feel it, that power, that protection. JK, I'll kill them, he whispered, soft and deadly. He leaned down, kissing the mark again. This time slow, almost gentle. JK, you touch my neck again, and I'll leave 10 more on yours. The atmosphere shifted. Jungkook's lip lingered on her neck longer than usual, not in the usual possessive way, but softer, slower, as if he was caught in some memory that weighed heavy. She faltered before he spoke, the slight tremble in his breath, the pause in his hands. Wine, Jungkook? Why didn't you let anyone touch that tattoo? He didn't answer right away. Instead, he sat back, resting on the edge of the dresser while she remained in front of him. JK, I was 30 when I got it. Ryan, taehyung? He nodded once. JK, there was this man, my father's right hand. I called him uncle when I was a kid. JK, he trained me, taught me how to fire a gun, how to clean up blood, how to leave without flinching, and then one night he stabbed my father in the back, literally. Tried to take over the syndicate. I was only 9 back then. She stepped closer, her fingers gently brushing against his hand. JK, I found him after I buried my father. He was hiding out in the warehouse outside Busan. That was the first time I killed a man with my bare hands. Her breath caught, not because of what he said, but how hollow his voice had become, like he was reliving it, losing his father and then his first murder at the age of 9. JK, he wore a ring, same symbol that's on the tattoo, a serpent coiled around its sword. It was the last thing I saw before I slit his throat. Her eyes widened, the same symbol on his neck. JK, that tattoo isn't just a mark, it's a reminder of betrayal, of how I learned what loyalty costs. How cold the world really is. She moved closer and placed her hand gently over his heart. He didn't flinch this time. JK, I don't let anyone touch it. Because it's the only part of me that still burns, the only piece I haven't buried. And the reason I don't want you to touch it is because it's a stain. It's too low for your honor. Ryan didn't speak at first, her thumb brushing the corner of his mouth before slipping down to his throat. Ryan, then let it burn. Because every part of you belongs to me, Jungkook. Every stain, every scar, every shadow, and every ounce of goodness left in you. I want all of it. Ryan, you're mine, just like I'm yours. And if that tattoo reminds you of pain, then let me rewrite its meaning. Let it remind you that you survived, that you rose from it, and that you're not alone anymore. Jungkook's eyes filled up with pride and possessiveness as he leaned down to bury his face in her neck once more. He exhaled like a man finally breathing after years underwater. JK, every part of me is yours to own.